Hi, welcome back to our online preparation course for the TOEFL test. This time we are going to continue getting prepared for the reading section. In this module, we are going to be working with implied detailed questions. But what are implied detailed questions? Unlike stated detailed questions, these questions, the answers, do not appear clearly in the text. So how can we answer these questions? Well, we will have to apply the inference strategy. We will have to infer information. We will have to read between lines in order to be able to answer the question correctly. This means we will have to get the clues that the passage offers in order to answer the question, right? And draw a conclusion about what the answer is, okay? So let's do some examples in order for you to have a better idea of what implied detailed questions are about. Okay, here you have a passage, and as I already mentioned several times in the previous videos, we never read the complete passage. We start by reading the first question of each passage, and then we find the answer for the question. Okay, so remember, you will have to read between lines in order to find the answer, due to the fact that the answers will not be clearly stated. Okay, so here you have a question. Which of the following is probably not a Hawaiian word? Okay, so again, in this case, we will have to apply the elimination method because they are asking you for the one that is probably not a Hawaiian word. So that means that 3 of them are going to be correct, and 1 is going to be the one that is not a Hawaiian word, okay? So how do we do that? Do you remember we have to identify keywords in our question. For example, in this case, our keyword is Hawaiian, okay? And if you notice, in the first line, we have the word Hawaiian as well. Okay, remember, you will have to get all the keywords or clues in order to draw a conclusion about the answer. So let's read the paragraph and pay lots of attention. It says, the Hawaiian language is a melodious language in which all words are derived from an alphabet of only 12 letters. The 5 vowels A, E, I, O, U, and the 7 consonants H, K, L, M, N, P, W. Each syllable in the language ends in a vowel, and 2 consonants never appear together. So vowels have a much higher frequency in the Hawaiian language than they do in English. If you notice, we had to read the complete paragraph. Why? Because in order to infer information, in order to find the clues, it was necessary for us to read all the information presented in this paragraph. Okay? So you have 4 options to answer this question. We have Mahalo, Mahimahi, Meklea, and Moana. From the information that we got from the first paragraph, we can infer that the answer for this question, the word that is probably not a Hawaiian word, is Meklea, letter C. Why? Because in the paragraph it says that 2 consonants never appear together. Even though the word Meklea is not mentioned in the passage, we can determine that it is not a Hawaiian word because 2 consonants never appear together in the Hawaiian language. Okay? So did you notice how we got the clues and we drew a conclusion? Let's do another example. We have the same passage, and if you notice, the question is, it is implied that a luau is, okay? So we have a dance, a feast, a concert, and a language. In this case, we have to take the keyword that is luau. And again, we have to read between lines in order to draw a conclusion about what it is. So, the word luau appears where it says, this visitor may attend an outside luau where everyone eats too much and may be invited afterwards to dance the hula. Okay? So, according to this information, we can infer that a luau is a feast. Why? Because a feast is a party. So what do you normally do in a party? You eat a lot and you dance. Okay, so remember, when you have implied detailed questions, you will have to read between lines, infer, in order to get the correct answer. These are the common questions that may appear on the TOEFL test every single time that you have to answer implied detailed questions. For example, it is implied in the passage that, it can be inferred from the passage that, it is most likely that, or what probably happened. If you notice, the words implied, inferred, likely, probably are related to reading between lines and drawing a conclusion about something that we read. Okay, so let's review what we have to do in order to be able to answer these kind of questions. Remember, we have to choose a keyword in the question, scan the passage in order to find the word or the idea. You have to read the sentence that contains the word very carefully, and then look for an answer that could be true according to that sentence. Okay? So let's go to the practice section and apply this important tip to answer implied detailed questions. See you next time.